Hello and welcome to CBR TV. My name is John Bernstein. I'm joined today by Barry Hutton, who is Global Retail Client Director at Hitachi. Barry, welcome to CBR TV. We're going to talk about digital and we're going to talk about retail. Now, every industry sector is faced with the challenge of digital. How does it apply in the case of retail?
Thanks, John. It's great to be here. I think retail is generally such a diverse marketplace that it applies in so many different ways. You've got fashion, you've got grocery, you've got low end, high end. You've got retailers dealing with every socio-demographic that is out there, basically. And of course, you've got a lot of disruption coming along as well, as we as consumers, and myself as a shopper, and I'm sure yourself as well, have less and less tolerance about what you're willing to put up with in a store, on an app, or online. And I think that's probably compounded by the great job, clearly, that the poster child we all know and love, which is Amazon. They've come in and they've almost reverse engineered retail in many respects by just getting it right, really having a great handlehold on what the customer's buying, when they're buying it, from what geolocation they're buying it from, to the point where they can get to the point where they understand what they might want to buy next, and managing all the inventory and the supply in a very, very efficient way to manage that customer expectation is causing a lot of pressure. And margin pressure, customer retention pressure, and all those kind of things for some of the traditional retailers.
You mentioned customer pressure as one of those pressures. Let's think about the key questions that digital poses when we think about customer engagement. What are those?
I think if you go into any store today, what you'll find is there's been a shift in balance in terms of the power that exists between me as a buyer and a consumer and the colleague that might be facing me on the shop floor. I'm much more researched. I am probably quite tech savvy. I might sit in that millennial generation, and I probably know what I want, right? And I've done some research about it, and I'm going to want to do something while I'm in the store on my iPhone or my Android device or whatever it happens to be. And so the retailer has to somehow balance that equation by making sure that they're at least equal to the power balance in terms of being able to serve up that type of information in a digital, engaging and enriched way with that customer on the shop floor. So I think that itself presents a pretty big challenge, because it's not just a technology challenge, it's a cultural and a behavioural challenge. Me as a shop floor colleague has to engage very differently with my customer using digital and using tools that are served up to me with the use of data.
So you've laid out some of the challenges and some of the opportunities. I guess the obvious question next is, why Hitachi?
We've got an extraordinary array of tools and platforms and solutions to help retailers manage cost optimization, engage and know their customers better, and be able to respond dynamically to those customer changes and those requirements, but also improve their operational execution all the way through from the farm to the fridge, through the supply chain up to the store shelf edge. And what we've got is, as Hitachi, is just an array of data-led, insight-led, and other very exciting platforms that help that retailer do what they want to be doing best, which is, providing surprising and delightful experiences for their customers.
One of those platforms is Biometrics. I guess the challenge there is that Biometrics is an incredibly saturated marketplace.
Biometrics is, there are lots of modalities associated with biometrics. It might be iris recognition, facial recognition, fingerprint, which is an external biometric as well. Our own finger vein platform basically is the most advanced, reliable and secure biometric platform in the world. The reason is because it tracks your finger vein pattern and your blood flow, which is what we would call an internal biometric, which you can't substitute, you can't lift, as you might be able to do a face or a fingerprint. So it's incredibly reliable and secure, and it's already tried and tested in many of those operational in-store use cases that I've just described, for the primary purpose of reducing shrink, which is a very big problem. Actually, it's about 1.29 to 1.45% of a problem on the top line of most retailers. So that's where we're spending a lot of time trying to figure out how we can help these retailers put a lot of money back in their own pockets. And we believe we've got the best biometric platform to solve some of that colleague-related activity in the store that may be associated with some shrink in the store environment.
And finally, and to return to a theme we were talking about earlier, for the viewers out there watching, give them one reason why they should consider Hitachi.
Because we live, breathe and sleep data, and that's protecting it, securing it, harnessing it, and we have more intellectual property in big data and analytics than any other company in the world, and we'd love to help those retailers navigate that data to grow and to serve customers better.
Barry Hutton, thank you very much.
Pleasure, thank you.